Hello and welcome to lesson 8.6, fraction multiplication. Our swabbat for today is students will be able to multiply fractions. The materials you will need are a math journal, pencil, whiteboard, and marker, but I guess I'll be honest, you really need the math journal and pencil. The whiteboard probably won't come into much use for you today. To start, I'd like for you to turn to your math journal page 264. We're going to complete 2 journal pages in this lesson today, and then you'll be off with your study link. Now, my guess is because of the work that we've done with the math probes, many of you already know how to multiply fractions. That's what these word problems are asking you. Here, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Stay with me though, because a lot of kids freak out with the drawing of the picture that we need to do. And I do expect you to understand the drawing of the picture, so stick with me, okay? So, question 1, math message. Use the rectangle at the right to sketch how you would fold paper to help you find 1/3 of 2/3. First things first. The question is, what is 1/3 of 2/3? That word of means times. It means times. It means times. And any problem where it says of, it means times, okay? So that's the first thing you need to know. Second thing you need to know is how to use the rectangles, because you're going to see this on your study link and I don't want you to be frustrated. So 1/3 of 2/3. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to write the number 1/3 out here. And using this piece of paper, or what should be a piece of paper, I'm going to split it equally into thirds. And you can see I have done a lovely job. No, really I haven't. Try to get as close to a third as you can. And then I'm going to, or to thirds as you can, and I'm going to just shade in 1/3 of it. Okay? So there's 1/3 of this rectangle. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change my color. I do not expect you to do this. I think it's just easier for kids to see, I've come to find from teaching this. So now I'm going to do 2/3. Notice how I wrote 2/3 on the top now. Now I'm going to look at it and I am going to split this piece of paper into thirds up and down instead of side to side. And in this time I'm going to shade in kind of using the opposite direction of a stroke, and I'm going to shade in 2/3 of it. See what I'm doing? If you look at it from the top, I have shown 2/3. Up and down, but if I look at it from the side, I've shown 1/3. Now, when I look at my answer, I notice that there are 2 boxes that are totally shaded in, so that's my numerator. And I look at how many boxes there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so there are 9 boxes total, and I get my answer, 2 9s. Now, if you have already learned how to multiply fractions, you would notice 1/3 times 2/3 is the same thing as multiplying the 1 by the 2 is 2, and 3 by 3 is 9. But this is the diagram you need to show for it. Follow me with the second one. It says, use the rectangle at the right to sketch how you would fold paper to help you find 1/4 of 3/5. So again, I'm going to take this, I'm going to label the side to side as 1/4. Then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into fours. So there we go. I've got 4 equal sections, and I'm going to shade in 1 of the 4th. Please do the same thing with me. Okay. Now I'm going to take a different color. Again, I don't want you to do that. I think it's just easier for you to see. And I'm going to look at it up and down. This time I'm going to write it underneath. Oops, it's supposed to be 3/5. This time I'm doing it underneath because I don't have enough room on top. So 3/5. And now I'm going to split this paper up and down into fifths. So, oh, for gosh sakes. Hold on. I'm going to pause it because this is too hard. Okay. See how I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns up and down? Now I'm going to take and I'm going to shade in 3 out of those 5. And again, I'm putting my lines in the opposite direction. I suggest that you do that as well because you're likely just using pencil and it becomes confusing if you don't. So Now, if I look at my picture, I have 1, 2, 3 boxes that are totally shaded in with both of the shades, and I have 20 boxes total if I were to count it up. Again, 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 5 is 20. Now, question 3, it asks us to rewrite 2/3 of 3/4 using the multiplication symbol. Easy. 2/3 times 3/4. Please do the same for all of the questions at the bottom and check in with me. That should have been simple enough for you. All they wanted you to do was rewrite the problems using a multiplication symbol. Check in with me. I don't see why you wouldn't be correct. All right, now turn your attention to journal page 265. This is the last page we'll complete together. This page is very similar to your study link. It doesn't look exactly like it, but it's quite similar. So make sure you understand what this area model means. So question 1, it says use the rectangle at the right to find 2/3 times 3/4. So again, I'm going to take and I'm going to split these, sideways. I'm going to split it into 2/3. Hopefully yours looked similar. You may have shaded the bottom 2/3. That's fine. Now do the same thing. Up and down, split it into 4ths and shade in 3 of them. Please make your lines neater than mine. It's very hard to draw using a mouse on my computer. So anyway, now take a look. How many rectangles do we have shaded completely? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 shaded completely, but with my different drawings, I have made a total of 12 boxes or rectangles within there. So my answer is 6/12. Again, if you look at it, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 4 is 12. I know you guys get that part, but you do need to understand this area model in order to successfully complete your study link. Now, you want to use area models to complete the remaining problems on this page. So, first things first, 2/3 times 1/5. Go ahead and separate side to side, separate it into thirds, shade in 2 of them. Do the same thing then for 1/5. Pause the video. Okay, so according to your area model, you should have 2 rectangles that are totally shaded in, one with each type of shade. So your numerator is going to be 2, and then your denominator is how many rectangles you have. You have 15 rectangles. Okay? I'm going to do the next one with you, then I'm going to have you pause and do the rest of them individually and check in with me. So first, we're going to find 3/4. Go ahead and separate 3/4, or separate it sideways into 4ths, shade in 3. Okay, hopefully yours looks neater than that. Now, take up and down and separate it into 5ths. By the way, when you are trying to figure out how many lines to draw, it's always one less than the number. So since I'm splitting into 5ths, I'm going to draw 4 lines, and then we'll have 5 parts. Okay, so hopefully you have it drawn out and filled in. There are, let's see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes that are totally shaded in, and you have created 20 boxes total. So your answer is 6/20. I'd like for you to go through questions 4, 5, 6, and 7, drawing in and multiplying. Please pause the video, check in with me when you're done. Okay, so my guess is you likely have your answers right for each of them because you all know how to multiply. So for number 4, I got 5/24, and if I were you, I would have taken in and gone about splitting up the rectangle. 1/4 goes sideways, 5/6 goes up and down, and hopefully you have the same shading in. For number 5, I got 9/40. Check my shading in. I know it's messy. It was very hard to do on the computer. Number 6 is 5/16, and number 7 is 20/30. Before you get that study link, if you don't understand how to shade, ask, this will be, it's just something you need to know, okay? Last question, explain how you sketched and shaded the rectangle to solve problem 7. So, I'm going to see if I can type. Okay, well, we'll see if this works. This was challenging, to say the least. Okay, so explain how you sketched and shaded the rectangle to solve problem 7. Well, first, let's see. First, I separated the rectangle into sixths sideways and shaded in 5 out of 6. Then I separated up and down into 5 sections and shaded in 4. That meant I had a total of 20 rectangles shaded in out of 30. Sorry that I had to type that, but my hand is tired from all the sketching we've done in this lesson. Finally, we get to our study link. Your study link looks like this. You need to write a number model for each area model. If I were you, I would take a look at it sideways. How many sections are there sideways? So the first, in the example, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections total. They shaded in 1 out of the section, out of the 4. Up and down, they split it into 5. Shaded in 2 of the 5, and their answer was 2/20 or 1/10. So do the same thing for questions 1, 2, and 3. Then for number 4, that should be simple enough, 4 through 9. Lastly, numbers 10 and 11, think about it. Our title of this study link is Multiplying Fractions. They likely are going to have you somehow multiply some of the fractions in these problems. Number 11 is a little more complicated, but you should be able to do 10 and think through number 11 with your partner, and I bet you'll get it. Good luck. Good luck.